Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. As per the usual, I am Cable, Cable. Greetings and salutations, and welcome back. As you can see, we are in part 2 of the unboxing of the Mercenaries Kickstarter that was able to raise $7.5 million, and some of the items in front of you are rewards and the stretch goals that we reached. I think we broke the top 10 of tabletop game records on Kickstarter, among other things. So without further ado, we got a lot more to go. So we have the Star League dice. Next up, that's Comstar. Next up, we have the Star League dice. I bought a lot of dice too because, well, I'm missing a lot of dice there. So we have the Comstar laser cut dice. So pretty nifty, 1d6. Next up we have we got my house favorite. We have House Davian, which is, well, actually the house that I represent the most with. So we got their dice as well. So each one, 2 of those. We got those as well, so we'll put those in a location somewhere. Next up, we have our standard, just our Battletech dice. The representing of just the Battletech symbology in the laser cut. Pretty nifty. You got a bunch of those. This one is the real big kicker. We also decided that I wanted at least one of each house. So Stadium. That's the standard Battletech dice. So we have, first up, we have House Marquet. House House of Marquet. So we have the house. So I guess this is color coded, so it's got Battletech, so those are the color coding for House Mark. Next up, we have House Kurita. The color scheme of House Kurita. We've already seen the House Davian dice. So next up we have House Steiner. House Steiner's coloring. And last of the houses, we have House Lao. So very cool. Okay, next up, we have more vehicles. Next up, we have our assault and cavalry lances. So, we currently in this box we have 2 Demolisher heavy tanks, 2 Skirek PPC carriers, 2 Condor heavy hover tanks, and 2 Pegasus scout tanks. So, let's crack open this case and pull those out. Here's the Demolisher. And apparently one's a Gauss variant Demolisher. There's our Chic PPC carrier. Here's the LX. Each one has the possibility of a C carrier or whatever you want to work with. You can have a both, but we have a miniature to go with it, which is the main part. And then we have the Pegasus hover tank. An upgradable Pegasus. And last but not least, we have the Condor heavy hover tanks. And one's a laser variant, so. So here's the Condor. The other Condor. I'm going to try and work on the lighting situation because it looks actually pretty dark. So give me a moment. Oh, that's too bright. Need to reassess my eyes. I can't see shit right now. So bear with me. Go ahead, one. Well, let's get, alright, so Here's the Skirk PPC carrier. Can't fix the light, so I apologize. I had good lighting, but apparently I don't anymore. Here's the other PPC carrier. Here we are. Here are the Demolisher heavy tanks. Here's the other one. And here's our Scout hover tanks, the Pegasus. That is the Assault Cavalry box. Next up, actually, let me trying to work on the lighting. Apparently the other battery died in the other one, so we'll try it again. That seems to be worked a little bit better. Up next, we have the Battle and Fire Lances, or the Battlefield Support. This one has Manticore, 2 Manticore heavy tanks, 2 Vedette medium tanks, along with 2 LRM carriers and 2 SRM carriers, with enough turrets to make 4 of each. So these have bonus turrets inside, so you can really upgrade and do some other fancy shit. Let's crack this case open. There, that fixed the lighting problem. And here's the additional turrets that you can switch on to make more. Here's Manticore heavy tank. The Vedette medium tanks. Another of the SRM carriers. We have the LRM carriers. more battlefield support cards. So we'll go. That's the LRM carrier, which is just a bad day in general, because you can rotate them and switch them out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4 LRM 10s and 2 LRM 20s. Just a fucking bad day, any way you look at it. Here's one of the other LRM carrier miniatures. Next up, we have the SRM carriers, which you've already seen, with the rotating heads. We have the other SRM carrier. Let's see. Here are the Vedette medium tanks. More of the Vedettes. Here's the Manticore heavy tanks. The other Manticore heavy tank. Okay, up next, let's pull out the second main attraction. And the last of it is actually the actual Mercenaries box. This big bastard. Now, this was the limited edition that was unlocked as an option. You can either get the Mercenaries box or you can get the limited edition with the kind of BattleTech cover top. And it looks fancy. Fancy, reflective, and some other stuff. And as you see, we got more miniatures to go through, as well as the battle support cards, which they've designed to put in there to make it easier for those that who want to play more of the ground and pound Alpha Strike version for the ground vehicles. So we have an entire deck of that to play with. We got BattleTech Mercenaries rulebook. We got some maps and all of the factions and the mercenary units. We got more Battletech character sheets to work with. This is one of the novels. This was the No One Left Behind novel of the Battletech fiction. And like I said in the first video, there are 3 audiobooks that have not arrived yet. Because I guess they're in production, or I messaged them and we're waiting to find out tomorrow what the reasoning is for. Apparently this is the Legends version of the Inner Sphere during 3058, right where the Klan's invasion started. And that's the Inner Sphere, what remains after 3151, which I'm currently exploring in Mech Warrior 5. So real cool stuff. This part I like. They gave you pop-out tabs for your vehicles, for the miniatures, machine gun nests, LT employee. Let's see, can I get the lighter in here? Yeah. A bunch of pop-out tabs for various different things. They also give you field hospital setups, other hazards that you can throw into the makes, which always is fantastic. Then we have your upgraded battlefield support variants with the rules and regulations to make it easier firing vehicles and such. Your basic strikes and other movement for your vehicles. So always good. That's something cool. They even created Battletech mercenary contracts for your PC characters that are actually dry erase setup. So that's pretty nifty. Your contact straps for creating campaign. So all kinds of interesting stuff. They gave us a couple maps. Which are always a pleasure. Like I said, they're all just throw on the tabletop and go. So all kinds of cool. And let's see here. And we'll go through the mechs that we have in the crate. I think that will be probably set up for the next video. Ooh, have we got a Caesar? Let's see here. Those Alpha Strike cards, or are these? Those are character cards. Or is the Alpha Strike cards? Because that will make life easier trying to explain the miniatures that are in play. I think here we are. Okay, we got that sorted. And while we're waiting that, because that's got a lot more to go through, we're going to crack open up these posters. we'll stand over here. Here's one of the Battletech maps. Not sure how that's coming in, but this is the best I can do at the moment. There's one of them. Here's another poster. And it has a tall boy option as well. Let's see, did the other one have another one on the other side? Yeah, it had, on this one, dropships. I just think I fucked up. Give me a second to readjust. I just hit my camera, so my apologies. And the last poster is the artwork for the Mercenaries specific. And on the back of it, it has a bunch of the units on there. So, lots of stuff to go through. And like I said, we have the mechs to go through on the actual starter kit itself. So without further ado, stick around for the last one and close-up of the miniatures. Until next time, this is Kibble, saying have a good night, and we shall see you in 1 second for part